didn't go in early, but I thought the way he was playing in terms of the decisiveness was really good, and then I thought late, we had some opportunities. We weren't great offensively, and certainly Sengun gave us a lot of problems, but, I thought the entire team kept their head in the game, and I think, obviously Zach's three-point play was big, and then coming back and knocking down that three, that was 5 quick points that got us, I think, a 1-point lead at that point in time. It kind of changed the momentum of the game.
How do you make sure you guys don't get too much DeMar-centric at the end of games in those ISO situations?
Well, the regulation was on me because just going back and watching them on film, they've got a real history of what I would say just running and trapping the ball, whoever's got it. Yeah, and I just was concerned about running actions and getting too many people in too tight of a space and there being traps and not being able to find somebody. So I kind of created the space that way on purpose just because they had shown that quite a bit. And I just wanted to make sure if it was DeMar or Zach or Kobe, if either one of them had the ball and they were trapped, they had to have some outlets. So that's why the floor was spaced. And, I didn't get a real good look at it. It looked like Van Fleet was moving up the lane line almost to run to Zach, and I think Zach's man was going to maybe run to DeMar, but I just wanted to make sure if DeMar had the ball in that situation, there was enough room to make a play. But that last play, that's why I did that in that situation. Outside of that one, I thought we had some pick and rolls. I didn't think that, there was some opportunities I thought to hit Vooch on the roll. Sengun changed up his coverage. Sometimes he was back and Kobe was turning the corner. Then they kind of came up and started to blitz it a little bit, and we found Vooch in the pocket. But I thought we got out of rhythm a little bit, even though I thought we generated some good shots. But because we were out of rhythm, I didn't think we shot the ball well.
Billy, was that one of Zach's best all-around games since you've been here?
I mean, he's had a lot of them, a lot of them.
But just the way, we talk about his defense. He was really engaged defensively, particularly early. He kept attacking, got over the slow start, rebounding, assists. Turnovers, obviously, always a little high for you, but just in general, it looked like he just played an all-around.
Yeah, no, he played an all-around great game. He assisted, he got in and rebounded. Obviously the scoring piece, and he probably, had some really good looks in that first quarter. Just didn't go down for him, but they were great plays. And I give him a lot of credit because it wasn't like he was totally involved in the game coming down the stretch, but certainly in overtime he really kept his head in the game and made some big plays for us. Even come up with a couple loose basketballs and a couple rebounds. So, he's had a lot of amazing games throughout his career. I don't know if I could sit there and say this is the best one I've ever seen, but certainly all around, I think if you look at the all-around game that he played on both ends of the floor, I think you could put that up there, And that's the thing I said, I think, before the game. It's going to take him some time just to kind of get back into it. The one thing I liked about the game, at least for most of it, was we played really fast and we maintained a pretty good tempo in terms of the pace that we played with. So, there'll be opportunities if we can continue to sustain that for him, in transition, in the open floor to make plays.
Billy, are you going with 9 in the rotation moving forward? And what was the decision to play Dalen over Javon?
Well, I thought a little bit of their size, and we, have generally switched, 1 through 4. They did show, on film, playing Jeff Green and Sengun together, playing a little bit bigger. They've also showed, playing a little bit smaller. But I thought the ability to switch with Jabari Smith, Tate's a hard guy because he's such a, he rolls, he's physical, he rebounds. So we just wanted to, I thought it was hard in Charlotte, with everybody kind of coming back, where I thought some of the guys' rotations were like 3 and 4 minutes, and it's hard to do that, to play and be productive. So, not to say that Javon is, out of the rotation. Tonight he was, but, it was just more kind of went with Dalen's size in that situation. And I think Dalen deserves to play, and so does Javon.
Billy, what went into the decision to bring Pat off the bench tonight?
Well, I just knew that we were going to get back to starting Vooch and Zach, and Alex has been really, really good. I think with that group, so we'll kind of just play him for a short stretch and then bring Patrick right in and then try to have Alex come back in and close the quarter. His minutes were probably high tonight because of the 2 overtime games, the last 2 games. But that's kind of the way we had been going. Pat had been coming off the bench, but because of some of the injuries, Io had started some, Patrick had started some. We had moved around to some different Drum started, just been different starting lineups.
Billy,
Last one.
sorry, Billy. I'm kind of noticed in these last two games, you guys have been going down to the stretch in overtime. Have you been sacrificing defense for offense in the fourth quarter? It looks like the lineups are pretty consistent, like you're saying, with the offensive lineup down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I got a lot of confidence in Vooch. I got a lot of confidence in DeMar and Zach and Kobe. It doesn't. I think there's times, where there's 15, 20 seconds to go in the game. It's one possession, and you got to get a stop, and maybe you want to put guys out there to switch or you're down. But we're going to play those guys. We're going to play those guys, and like I said, I've got confidence in those guys.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.